Hello everyone, my name is Brian Graham, Director of Officiating for Hockey Northwestern Ontario. Today we're going to talk about a new rule that was adopted prior to the start of the 2021-22 season by Hockey Canada, Section 11, Maltreatment. In this session, we will focus on the gross misconduct rule under Section 11.4 and how it's being applied this season, not only here in Hockey Northwestern Ontario, but all of Hockey Canada as well. This video is mainly for coaches, players, team officials, and parents to help them better understand the rule and how it's being applied to make our game that much better and a positive environment for everyone who participates. With respect to 11.4, H&O believes that all participants, whether it be players, coaches, team personnel, on-ice officials, off-ice officials, parents, or spectators, understand that comments about race, religion, or sexual orientation are considered discriminatory actions. They will not be tolerated and will be penalized with a gross misconduct penalty and subsequent suspension to the game participants. Now, what is maltreatment? Maltreatment consists of acts that result in actual or the potential of physical or psychological harm. This includes, but is not limited to, physical, psychological, or sexual actions as detailed below. Physical, assault or unwanted physical contact. Non-contact behavior, such as denying hydration or nutrition, providing alcohol to a participant under the legal age. Psychological, verbal assaults or attacks. Unwanted physical contact, denying attention or support. Sexual, unwanted contact of a sexual nature on any part of a person's body, showing sexual videos or images, or unwanted conversation or teasing of a sexual nature. Why maltreatment? Well, Hockey Canada believes that every person should have positive experiences in hockey. It's easy to say that discrimination, harassment, and abuse have no place in our game, but we all play a role in making that a reality. We must all expect more from participants, our teammates, and ourselves with no excuses. H&O's commitment to this program, maltreatment in all of its forms, is a serious issue that undermines the health, well-being, performance, and security of everyone associated with the game of hockey. Maltreatment is incompatible with the core values that lie at the heart of our Canadian sport. Participants in H&O's programming should have the reasonable expectation that it will be in an environment that is accessible, inclusive, and is free from all forms of maltreatment. H&O is committed to contributing to the physical, psychological, social, and spiritual health of individuals of varying abilities, backgrounds, and interests. H&O firmly believes that only when sport environments are safe and inclusive can these values be realized. The responsibility of team officials. Team officials shall always be responsible for their conduct and that of their players. They must endeavor to prevent disorderly conduct before, during, or after the game, on or off the ice, and any place in the rink. The referee may assess penalties to any team officials for failure to do so. The referee shall report the individuals by completing a game incident report, including full details, and submitting the report to the appropriate member or league delegate. Now, the officials' role. The officials play a very important role in eliminating maltreatment from the game. Safe and fair is our motto. Maltreatment is neither safe nor fair. In the arena, officials hold players and team officials accountable. And if they don't, then who will do that? So what has changed under the new Section 11 maltreatment? The new playing rules under 11.1 unsportsmanlike conduct, 11.2 disrespectful, abusive, or harassing behavior, 11.3 spitting, 11.4 discrimination, which is the main focus of this session, and 11.5 physical harassment of officials. When it comes to 11.1 unsportsmanlike conduct, any player, goaltender, or team official challenges, disputes the ruling of the officials can receive a minor penalty, a misconduct penalty, or a game misconduct penalty based on the degree of the actions. 11.2, disrespectful, abusive, and harassing behavior. Any player, goaltender, or team official uses disrespectful language or gestures directed to the referee or any other individual. Disrespectful is defined as actions or words deemed rude, unpleasant, inappropriate, or unprofessional and found to be offensive to others. So how do we apply this rule? These rules are not only for participant official interactions, but we can and must penalize players and team officials for comments or behaviors directed at one another that violate this rule. Now, what would be an example of that? Well, we could have coaches on opposing teams yelling at each other from each bench. That would be considered also under this rule of 11.1 and 11.2, and those coaches could be penalized with a bench minor penalty or a game misconduct penalty based on their actions. Rule 11.3, spitting. The rule has not changed. There is still no change to this existing playing rule. It was previously 9.7 and has been recategorized as 11.3. Spitting must be penalized with a match penalty, which is a 5-minute time penalty, and the player is removed from the game. And given the current landscape of COVID-19, spitting is a point of focus for the 2021-22 season. Now, Rule 11.4, discrimination. The primary focus of these changes is related to discriminatory language and actions in hockey. Eliminating discrimination from the game is part of the official's responsibility to prevent maltreatment. This rule pertains to both incidents that are witnessed by an official and incidents that are reported to an official by a participant during the game. Any player, goaltender, or team official who engages in verbal taunts, insults, or intimidation based on discriminatory grounds shall be assessed a gross misconduct penalty and removed from the game. Discriminatory grounds include the following without limitation: race, national or ethnic origin, skin color or language spoken, religion, faith or beliefs, age, sex, sexual orientation or gender identity expression, marital status, genetic characteristics, or disability. The referee shall report the individuals by completing a game incident report, including full details, and submitting that report to the appropriate member or league delegate. On-ice allegations. Now, if the incident occurs that is not witnessed or heard by the officials and is still reported to the referee shall then report the individuals to an appropriate member of each team's bench staff, and the game would then continue. The referee then shall complete a game incident report, including full details, and shall submit that report to the appropriate member or league delegate. When an allegation is made and the official did not hear or witness the incident, these are the following steps. They would confer on the ice. Any official who witnessed the incident can assess the required gross misconduct penalty. If none of the officials witnessed the incident, they would then proceed to step 2. That would be to address the allegation with a team official from each club, explain what was alleged, who was involved, and the potential consequences for this behavior, and then the game would continue. Step 3 would then be to submit the game incident report following the conclusion of the game. We all play a role in changing the culture of the game. Officials must work hand in hand with administrators, coaches, parents, and players, and officials have the responsibility to support marginalized members of our sport to realize their full potential in a fair and safe environment. Help change the hockey culture and make it more inclusive to all Canadians. Call out discrimination because it is the right thing to do. No more excuses. It is not part of our game, and we need to change the culture. Now, as the season evolves and there is a better understanding of this rule, there still seems to be some confusion when it comes to comments about sex and gender. In the past, these types of slurs were not considered a gross misconduct penalty as it is now under the new maltreatment rule. In fact, some of these acts were not called penalties at all as they seeped into the hockey culture, for example, using the P word towards an opponent, especially during a scrum or altercation. That P word would now be classified as a gross misconduct penalty. Now, there is no official list of words that would be considered discriminatory. The best way to simplify these situations is to think that if these types of words were used in the workplace, at a manager or supervisor or other coworkers, you know there would be major ramifications to the future employment with that company. Another example would be at school. If these types of comments were directed by a student to a teacher, principal, or fellow student, again, This could lead to a suspension from school or even expelled. The bottom line is that these types of actions are unacceptable in society, and a hockey arena should be no different. We encourage coaches and team officials to speak to their players specifically about trash talking and the ramifications if these players cross the line with an opponent or on-ice official. Parents can also play a major role to their children in relaying the message that this type of behavior is not acceptable. We thank you for your time today, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact your local association president or myself here at the H&O office. On behalf of Hockey Northwestern Ontario, we wish everyone a safe and successful hockey season.